Although it's a cold midwinter's night, you feel warmly jovial as you walk the snowy paths to the Anselm Society digital pub. And why wouldn't you? After all, it's the Anselm Society's annual Christmas party, and you have a seat reserved by the table by the fire. Hello, my name's Matt Mellema, and welcome to Believe to See, a podcast of the Anselm Society Arts Guild. The Anselm Society is a coalition of churches across the Front Range of Colorado dedicated to one simple goal, a renaissance of the Christian imagination. To accomplish this, we do all sorts of things. We have a regular slate of concerts, lectures, and other events designed to foster love and understanding of arts and faith. We even have an annual Christmas party, which we're at right now. This is where you all applaud. Okay, there we go. That's right. Going to peek behind the curtain here at all you listeners at home. This is a very special edition of Believe to See because we're recording live in front of real Anselm friends at our real Anselm Christmas party. And my topic for you is one all about Yuletide merriment. At least I think it's about Yuletide merriment. It's something I have spent probably too much time wondering. Here it is, the topic. Should C.S. Lewis have put Father Christmas in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? So I have quite a few thoughts, and I thought I would share each and every one of them with you all. So just bear with me. Thought number one. It's a little bit of a...
What's wrong with Father Christmas?
Hello? The audience is supposed to sit over here.
Again, what's wrong with Father Christmas?
Wait, is somebody in the wardrobe?
Jack Lewis at your service.
Matt Mellema, wait, C.S. Lewis?
Of course.
Alright, and you came through that wardrobe.
Of course.
You don't find that odd?
I live in an enchanted reality. Mr. Mellema, now tell me, why do you dislike Father Christmas?
I would not say dislike Father Christmas. I want to go on record as saying I like Santa Claus as much as the next guy, probably more. I just thought this would actually be a good podcast topic for us.
Podcast?
Yeah, kind of like radio, but for your phone. We're actually recording it right now.
So you've gathered all of these people to record your opinion on whether I made a mistake by adding Father Christmas to Narnia?
I would not use the word mistake, but...
Nothing wrong with a hearty debate. I was president of the Oxford Socratic Club, and then there were the Inklings. In my rooms at Magdalen College, we delighted in ripping each other's stories apart.
Wait, is someone else in the wardrobe?
Tollers, glad you made it.
J.R.R. Tolkien? So my name's Matt Mellema, and I just have...
Pleased to meet you, Melvin. Been looking for you, Jack. This whole business about Father Christmas won't do at all.
A debate it is. Excellent. Let's make this official. Resolved. Father Christmas does not belong in Narnia. Tollers will take the affirmative. I will take the negative. I even brought my notes.
Oh, you both brought notes. That is great. I guess I could serve as moderator, I guess. We don't have any... Okay, well, there we go. So, Professor Tolkien, would you like to begin? I actually don't think the venue wants us to smoke in here.
Father Christmas is symptomatic of Narnia's most serious flaw, the mixing of different mythologies. The whole Narniad is a hopeless jumble. You have children from our world, talking animals, Lilith, dwarves, Bacchus, fawns, It's a mess. Added to this cacophony is none other than Father Christmas. It won't do at all.
Mr. Lewis, would you care to respond?
Call me Jack. Call me Jack.
No. Mr. Lewis, would you care to respond?
My response is simple. Yes, I mixed mythologies. What's your argument with that?
Argument? It unravels the entire story. Look at the examples I've just listed. Pevensies come from our world. Talking animals come from Aesop. Lilith is a figure in Jewish mythology. Dwarves are Germanic. The phoenix has its roots in Arabia. Fauns and nymphs, ancient Greece. Bacchus is the Roman god of the vine, fertility, and ritual madness. You add Father Christmas to all of this. It smacks of crass commercialism. It's the most lowbrow symbol of commercialism. You cannot just take all of these characters, different origins, different meanings, different backstories. You can't throw them together and expect a cohesive world. It cannot be done.
Tollers is the sort who never wants his peas and mashed potatoes to touch on his dinner plate.
Of course they should never touch, but that's not the point. You've created a world in which Father Christmas and fawns coexist. That's not peas and mashed potatoes. That's wrapping a banana in cheese. A proper digestion would retch at the mixture.
I'll give you a place where all of these characters are more mixed freely. The human imagination. In the imaginative world, Chinese dragons fly above Beowulf's Grendel. Thor and Hercules compete in tests of strength. Vikings and samurai and Sulu greet each other as old friends. Don't all minds work like that?
Not mine.
But you yourself, Paulers, mix elements. Look at Middle Earth. Dwarves, elves, men, dragons, wolves, werewolves, oozes, wraiths. All distinct creatures with distinct folklore. And let's not forget Ents and Hobbits. You made those all up yourself.
Your equivocation fails on several fronts. First, all the creatures you've just mentioned have their roots in the myths and legends of Northern and Western Europe. Every one of them could reasonably be labeled Nordic. Second, I adapted races and creatures in general. You adapted particular individuals. Third, and most importantly, I was true to the mythological tradition in order to rescue it from the nursery tales, to save it from abominations like that cartoon with the 7 dwarves. What was it called?
Snow White?
Ah, yes. Appalling film.
And you argue that Narnia is not true to the mythological traditions?
Precisely.
Could you maybe give an example?
I could give a treatise's worth of examples, but I will limit myself to the most egregious, that ghastly fawn.
Mr. Tumnus? Oh, this is awkward.
Bah. Tell me, young Melvin.
Actually, my name's Matt.
Nah! You've read the Narnia books. How would you describe this fawn?
Well, so Mr. Tumnus, he was supposed to deliver Lucy over to the witch, but then he couldn't go through with it. Then him and Lucy became friends, so, sweet, gentle, good-hearted friend, I guess.
Exactly! That fawn is a cloying innocent. Harmless friend who makes tea for children. Do you know what fawns were in antiquity?
Kind of.
They were lecherous deviants. Creatures with the head of a man and the nether regions of a brute beast.
Of course, but I hope you see why I couldn't portray them like that in a story for children, Tollers.
Then you shouldn't have put them in at all.
What are you saying? I offended the dignity of fawns?
I'm saying you're not respecting the ancient tales. For 1,000 years, bards have had a singular vision of fawns. To snatch one from those tales and throw him into a children's story is the height of arrogance.
Don't pretend I was the first to imagine gentle fawns. This idea of a pure mythology is wistful fiction. You know where I got the idea to include fauns in Narnia? I saw a picture of a faun walking through snow, carrying an umbrella and a parcel. It was a dainty little scene, the kind that belongs in a nursery.
Very well. You did not cause the vulgarization of our myths. You merely assisted in it.
Vulgarization? Your words give you away. Vulgar, of course, comes from the Latin word for common people. But what are myths but the stories of common people? Every mythological being, from gods to elves, to trolls to fauns, change over time as tales pass from storyteller to storyteller. You can't keep your myths preserved under glass.
But you can slow the spread of modernity with its corrosion of the imagination. Look at what our modern age has given us. Crass, factory-produced consumerism. The ancient and the natural cast aside for the novel and the plastic. The human reduced our most important stories, taken, snatched, to make them appeal to young children and their moneyed parents. The human person reduced to a spending machine. I assume this is still happening in your age, Melvin.
It's actually worse now. You see, we got this thing called an iPhone.
Yet this is exactly what the Narnia story does. Mythological worlds softened to appeal to young children. Father Christmas added on a whim without any thought as to whether he even fits in that world. Crude consumerism.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Father Christmas. We finally come full circle to him. Mr. Lewis, would you like to make a couple counterpoints to Professor Tolkien?
I have two. First, your criticism stems from the fact that Narnia is for children. I made Mr. Tumnus gentle because I did not want a lecherous faun in a children's story. I included Father Christmas because he is a potent symbol that even small children understand. Considering that you yourself write children's stories, your attitude seems unjust.
Of course I write children's stories. There's no argument to be made against good children's literature. Good children's literature, which mine aspires to be, encourages children to reach up to a fuller, broader world, to see more of reality, not less. Bad children's literature panders. It distracts them with bright colors, distracts them with platitudes, cushy platitudes. Father Christmas embodies this pandering.
Okay, with all due respect, Professor Tolkien, we should really address the elephant in the room right now. You wrote stories about Father Christmas.
You know about those. I wrote them for my children.
They actually got published, so I've read them all. I think a lot of us have, right? Yeah.
It was Christopher, wasn't it? Drat the boy. Very well, I did write Father Christmas stories for my children.
And those Father Christmas stories had talking polar bears.
Yes.
And Christmas elves.
Yes.
And zany hijinks illustrated with little cute pictures.
That's enough, Melvin. I attempted to craft an authentic Father Christmas. Not the sort who serves biscuits and cocoa. I put a lot of work into a cohesive backstory. My North Pole has depth and character. It took considerable effort and thought.
And now we come to it.
Come to what?
The final reason you dislike Father Christmas. You think he shows I slapped the story together without planning it out at all.
Now's your chance to defend yourself.
Is this actually a good time to tell him, Mr. Lewis?
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Mellema.
The real reason you put Father Christmas in Narnia.
Anyway, Tollers, I know you think I write too quickly, but I would humbly suggest that we should consider the source.
Are you implying something, Jack?
I am not implying anything, Tollers. You, my dear friend, are the slowest rider who has ever trod upon the earth.
Now look here.
It's the simple truth. You possess a deadly combination of perfectionism and procrastination.
Don't exaggerate.
Before you get in a huff, this has its benefits, Tollers. It's how you created Middle Earth. But I think it's fair to say, if I hadn't prodded you every step of the way, you may never have finished Lord of the Rings.
Yes, well.
Compared to such a tedious craftsman, any writer would appear slipshod.
Fair enough.
I'll admit, I write quickly. I don't write carelessly, however. There was an order and a purpose to everything in Narnia. An order and a purpose.
Here we go.
What are you talking about?
You're finally going to tell Professor Tolkien the Narnia secret.
The what?
The secret order behind all the books of Chronicles of Narnia.
I can't imagine what you're talking about.
No. It's okay. The secret's out. We all know it now. In fact, there's actually a book. I have it on my Kindle. Yeah. Here you go. Check that out.
Planet Narnia? Who is this Michael Ward fellow?
Oh, maybe give it a little look. Okay, well, anyway, I'll go ahead and tell you then. So the idea behind this book is that each one of the books of Chronicles of Narnia is based on a different planet in the medieval cosmos. So, Horse and His Boy is Mercury, Magician's Nephew is Venus, Last Battle is Saturn, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is Jove. So the entire book is infused with this jovial influence. And as I'm sure you know, Professor Tolkien, the jovial influence is really hard to capture in our modern world. There's really no characters left that embody joviality. Pretty much the only one left in the popular consciousness is...
Father Christmas.
Exactly. It actually talks about it right about there. Yeah, right there.
Dollars? I'm dollars. Jack? Is this true? You really give your books this much thought?
It seems the cat's out of the bag. Would you like the full story, Thomas?
Rather. Let's say we discuss it over a pint at the Bird and the Baby.
You read my mind, Thomas.
If you gave them half this much thought, it's worth a discussion.
Yes. Wow. Merry Christmas, Mr. Mellema.
It's good. Merry Christmas to you both. I can come if... Okay, never mind. Well, I suppose I should get back to the podcast now, but I think I'm going to need a different topic. There you go. Thank you all for listening.